ladies, and in today's video I want to give you the ultimate key to dealing with loneliness as a single mother. I want to talk about the 3 things that lead to loneliness. I also want to talk about what loneliness is, and then last but not least, we cannot end a video with me just telling you the things that lead to loneliness. I want to tell you how to overcome feeling lonely, but most importantly, I want to give you the ultimate key to dealing with loneliness. So make sure you stay until the end of the video. And welcome back to the Single Mother's Life. My name is LaTarsha, and I'm so glad that you're here today. I'm kind of disappointed because I did do a Sunday single mother empowerment video yesterday. Today is Monday. I did it yesterday. I was supposed to upload it yesterday, but for some reason my videos have been uploading extremely slow on YouTube. So if you know what I'm doing, I mean, I have Wi-Fi connected. I don't understand why all of a sudden they're uploading so slow. Maybe because I'm making the videos a little bit longer for you ladies. I don't know. But anyway, I want to start empowerment Sundays for you ladies, but I have to figure out when I'm going to record those videos. My plan was to record them after church on Sundays, but I don't know how that's going to work because clearly the video is not going to be uploaded, you know, by Sunday evening. So I'm not sure, but today is Monday. Preferably I can have this video uploaded by tomorrow on Tuesday, but at the latest you probably are seeing this video is Wednesday. Before we get into the video, I just want to let you know that we did start the Single Mother Strong podcast over on Blog Talk Radio. Today, which is Monday, this morning I actually did a prayer, meditation, and encouragement segment. It was the very first segment. It's great for single mothers to listen to on their way to work, while they're getting ready for work, while they're getting the kids ready. I'll leave the link below, so make sure you go ahead and follow the show, and make sure you go ahead and check that out. We're going to be pushing segments out every Monday morning with the prayer, meditation, and encouragement. And then every Thursday evening where we'll talk about topics that relate to single mother wellness. So I hope that you'll tune in because I hope that it will bless you and help you as a single mother. Now, last announcement, and we will get right into this video because I know y'all are waiting. The Single Mother's Life coaching program is open and we are taking clients. We had it open a while back, but I decided to close it because I had a lot going on and I could not give my clients my full attention. We are open. We have 2 programs, the one-on-one single mother to single mother consultation, where I give you advice, you know, this single mother's journey advice with things related to single mom life hacks, fixing your credit, making more money, managing a one-parent income, what else, relocating as a single mother, co-parenting peacefully, and any other thing that relates to this single mother's journey. If you need advice, if you need some single mother to single mother talks, then head over and book your session. The sessions are 1 hour long. And then we also have our Single Mother Strong 8-week coaching program. So you can head over to thesinglemotherlife.com and check that out. So what is loneliness? Loneliness is a feeling. It's an emotion. Most people think that it's a fact. They think that it's their reality. But in our reality, loneliness is an emotion. It's similar to when you feel angry, or when you feel happy, or when you feel stressed. We also feel lonely. And feeling lonely can have some great effects on our life, especially if we feel and act out on that feeling. It can have some great effects on our life. For example, I told y'all I did Empowerment Sunday on yesterday, and in the video, which again, it should be uploaded, which again, I'm going to upload it on this Sunday since I wasn't able to upload it in time. I did Empowerment Sunday, and I gave my story about how I've been distracted over the past couple of months because I allowed a guy into my life who's not supposed to be here. And ladies, many of you can testify that when you allow someone into your life, especially a guy, you know, a friend, a boyfriend, whatever the case may be, somebody you're dating, and if they're not supposed to be there, they're going to cause more chaos than they cause peace. And maybe not even physically, but mentally for you, especially if they're not the one who God has to be in your life. They're going to always have you wondering. They're going to always have you stressed. They're going to always have you trying to figure out if they are the one. It was funny because I saw a social media post today that said, when you ask God to show you a sign, and it was a lady and she was laying on the ground with the sign on top of her because she asked God to show her a sign if he was the one. God gave her a sign, all right. But how many of us, you know, when we start feeling lonely, we try to self-medicate? And depending on how we self-medicate, there can be some side effects that can last a long, long time. Now, some of the ways we try to self-medicate is that we tend to reach out to an ex. We tend to run to the arms of a stranger. We tend to invite our kids' father back into our life. We tend to go online and attempt to online date just to have that conversation, you know, that male conversation that we desire. We tend to self-medicate in these ways, and it's okay, it's understandable, because what I'm not here to do is I'm not here to say, okay, you have your kids, so you should not feel lonely. You know, your kids should complete you. Your kids should make you content. You have them. No, I'm not going to sit here and say that, because single mother to single mother, we're going to feel lonely sometimes. We're going to want that male companionship. We're going to want that male conversation. We desire that. You know, that's how God created us. But it can become dangerous when we attempt to self-medicate with these methods of inviting the wrong people back into our life, or inviting new people who are the wrong people into our life. Because your ex is an ex for a reason. You know, you're not with your kid's father for a reason. And as far as someone new, maybe that's not the season. And especially if you're feeling lonely, if you're having the emotion of loneliness, that is definitely not the time for you to try to reach out to someone new to fill that void. Because what's going to happen is, after that feeling passes, then most likely you are going to regret you know, what you did. If you know, go farther and do something that you're not supposed to do, you're going to regret it. You're going to get with someone who is not supposed to be in your life. They're going to take you off path. They're going to make you lose you, and sometimes even worse things can happen. So you don't want to try to fill that void of feeling lonely by, you know, reaching out to someone new just to, you know, take up that space. Now, what causes us to feel lonely? From what I have experienced and noticed, this is 3 things that causes us to feel lonely, and this is not the entire list. This is just, you know, some of my top things that I've experienced as a single mom, and some top things that I see other single moms experience. And that first thing that causes us to feel lonely is comparison. And especially in the world that we're living in today, with social media, where everyone seems to be in a happy relationship, everyone seems to get married, everyone seems to be getting married. We go around our family members and they're all in relationships. We're the only single ones with our kids, and it make us feel some type of way. So then we start comparing our life to theirs, and then that can bring on a feeling of loneliness. It can also bring on some other, you know, emotions such as self-pity. You may start to feel sorry for yourself. You may even, you know, it may even drop your self-esteem, because you may start to feel like something gets wrong with you because you are single. And, you know, that can only make the feeling of loneliness bigger. to you in your mind. The second thing that I've noticed that causes single moms to feel lonely is an idle mind or an idle life. And I know you probably heard the saying that an idle mind is the devil's playground. And it is, because if you don't have anything going on, if you're just going to work a 9 to 5 and you're coming home and you're, helping your kids with their homework and you're, making dinner or getting takeout and getting ready to do that all over again the next day, then of course you're going to have some idleness there, and you're going to lay down in bed at night like, oh, I'm just, I'm bored and I'm lonely and I need a man. I wish I had a man to come and lay with me. I'm bored. So you have to figure out something else that you can do to occupy your time, and we'll get into that later. You have to make sure that your mind is full. Like, you have to be so busy. You have to have something that you're working on to where you don't even have time to even feel lonely. The third thing that causes us to feel lonely as single moms is emotional triggers. Now, let's say you have an ex. It could be your kid's father. It can be, just a ex who you didn't have kids by. It could be an ex-husband, whatever the case may be. Let's say y'all used to, get ready, get dressed up, get in the car, listen to y'all's favorite song, and head over to your favorite restaurant and eat. Now, every time you hear that song, or every time you go to that restaurant, then it's going to trigger you to think about, either think about him, or either just think about the companionship of being in a relationship, and it's going to cause you to start feeling lonely. Now, how can we overcome and avoid these, 3 things that I just gave you that cause us to feel lonely? Well, first, we must stop comparing. Your story is your story. We are on this single mother's journey, and our page is our page. God, of course, has already written our book. He's already written our story, but he gives you the pen. He gives you the pen, and he's like, okay, are you going to live out this story that I've written for you? Or are you going to rewrite your own story? So if you are on this single mother's journey, then you have to understand that you are in the season that you are supposed to be in. And you have to begin to trust God in this season and trust God with your life. You have to know that every relationship that you see is not happy. Every marriage is not happy, especially on social media. We have to stop allowing social media to deceive our emotions and to deceive us into thinking our lives, is less than, or to deceive us into thinking that there's something wrong with us, which is why we are single, which is why we are single moms. We have to stop allowing that. We have to begin to be grateful, for our life. We have to begin to be grateful for our kids, because there are some women out there who can't even have kids. I say it all the time. If it was just me, like if I hadn't had my son, I would be doing a lot of things. Like I would be probably traveling around the world. I would be doing a lot of things that I'm not able to do right now because I have a young son. But I am grateful for my son, because I don't even know how it would be without him. Like I can't picture my life without him. I would be alone, I feel like. So imagine those women out there who want to have kids but they cannot have kids. So, and we have to just, be grateful for our life and be grateful for this journey that we're on, and just consider it as a blessing, and stop wanting to be and have what we see other women have and trying to be who we see other women are. We have to just practice gratitude and not comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. And if you're always comparing what you see, around you, what you see on social media, then of course you're going to begin feeling lonely, especially if you're always comparing other people's relationships to your single mother's life. We also must remain productive. We gotta build, y'all. As single mothers, we have the ability to focus and build something great, because we don't have men in our lives. We don't have, a husband who we have to tend to. We only have our children. We have our children. We may go to work a 9 to 5. We take care of our home. So we have the opportunity to get out here and build this online business, which is popular right now. We have the opportunity to get out here and take online courses, online classes to elevate our lives. We have the opportunity to get out here and do so much. But yet some of us, we just tend to do the bare minimum, and then we complain that our life is not how we want it to be. And we complain about being lonely when there is so much out here that we can do. There's so much books. There's so much education. There's so much knowledge out here that we can begin to grasp and fill our minds, so that we don't even have the opportunity to feel lonely. We also, tend to purposely listen to the songs and go to the places where we know that our ex used to take us. So of course we're going to feel lonely. You have to set your mind on something. You have to set your mind on some goal. You have to set your mind on some dream, some vision. What do you want for you and your kids? If you don't have if you don't want to start a business, you don't have to start a business. But do you want to make more money? Okay, how are you going to make more money? You have to set goals to get to where you want to be. That is how you fill your mind and you be productive. So you don't even have time to think about a man. You don't even have time to think about feeling lonely. The loneliness is going to come in when we become bored. When we become bored, when, like I said, we're doing a bare minimum and we're focused on a man. We're focused on a relationship. And whatever you focus on, whatever you feed, it's going to grow. So feed your dreams and feed your goals and feed your visions. If you don't want to start a business, or if you don't want to go back to school, okay, do you want to take you and your kids on a vacation next year? And you know that this vacation is going to cost. So how can you begin to make more money to save for that vacation? That is a goal in itself, and it's going to have you productive, because your mind is going to be trying to help you figure out ways to get you and your kids to that island or whatever you want to do. There is always something for us as single moms to do. Stop comparing. We're going to become productive. We're going to set our mind on a vision, on a goal, on something big that we want to accomplish. We're going to set our mind on it, and we're going to start taking steps towards it, as opposed to feeding into the emotion of feeling lonely. We're also going to become emotionally intelligent. So we know that we cannot go to that place where our ex used to take us. We know that we cannot go to that restaurant. We know we cannot listen to that song, because it's not going to do anything but trigger the emotion of feeling lonely. It's going to trigger the emotion of sadness, because we're going to start thinking about what was, what could, and what could have been, and it's going to take us back down memory lane. So we're going to become emotionally intelligent. We're going to pick up some books. We're going to take some courses, and we're going to learn how to control our emotions and how to be more disciplined in our thinking. And I think that this will help us to stop feeling so lonely as single mothers, to stop, thinking about a relationship so much, to stop thinking about a man so much, and to just enjoy the journey, to just enjoy the day, to just enjoy life, to enjoy our kids, to enjoy us, because we matter. We not just single moms. We women, we human, and we matter. And we are independent creatures. Like, we're independent. We don't need a relationship. No matter how much the world tells you you need a relationship, we don't need a relationship. Now, it will help, of course. It will help with these kids. It will help with all these bills. But It's not a necessity. You know, you are an individual creature created by the creator to do individual things. And again, I'm not devaluing anyone's feelings of feeling lonely, because it happens. You're gonna feel lonely as a woman, as a human. You're gonna want that male companionship. But what is not healthy is when you dwell in those feelings. Feel it, acknowledge it, and move on. Because when you dwell in it, like I said, you may do some things that you will regret. You may do some things, you know, that will hurt you and your children in the long run. So you never want to dwell in that feeling of loneliness. Some keys to overcoming loneliness, but I want to give you the ultimate key to overcoming the feeling of loneliness. And that ultimate key is you have to set your eyes on the Lord, okay? Y'all knew I was coming with this. I can't make a video without talking about God, because Jesus is my foundation. Jesus is who the single mother's life was built upon. Jesus is how I live my life. I mess up sometimes, but the righteous fall 100 times, but every time they gonna get back up. So I messed up a couple of times, but every time I messed up, God has pulled me up and set my foot back on the right path. So set your eyes on Jesus. I always say how important it is for us single moms to have Jesus as our foundation. When you set your eyes on Jesus, you're still going to have those, you know, feelings of feeling lonely. But you will also have the strength to overcome those feelings. You will also have a reason to not dwell in that loneliness, because you know that you always have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The most powerful thing a man has ever told me, and it was a man, like it was my leader at my old church back in Alabama. He told me, he said, LaTarsha, as long as you have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, you have everything you need. And that was about 4 years ago, three and a half years ago, and that still sticks with me. As long as we have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, we have everything that we need. And we have to get that down in our subconscious. So in order to do that, you're going to have to spend time in God's word. Look up scriptures on loneliness, you know, and you'll realize that God says that he's always with you. He never leave you nor forsake you. When you're feeling lonely, ask God to strengthen you and to comfort you and to fill your voice and to help you. When you're feeling lonely, ask God to show you what you should do in that moment to overcome that loneliness. God is always there, but we have to invite him into our situations. So invite God into that lonely feeling, you know, that you're having whenever you have it, and he will show up. Trust him. Invite him in there, girl. If we had God more, if we had more Jesus, then a lot of us would not make the mistakes that we make, and a lot of us would not go down the paths that we go down. And I'm a living witness, because I'm guilty. But I love y'all. My phone is about to go dead, so I'm going to end this video here. As always, check the description box for more single mother resources. And if you have not subscribed yet, why not? I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all in my next video.